Okay, hello everyone. Sorry to keep you waiting. We've had a bit of a delay, mostly because I'm so terrible with technology, but it looks like we're ready to kick off the battle today. So, let me know in the chat if you have any questions later on. I'll try and keep an eye on that once I've finished my game. But in the meantime, good luck to Team Howell, and I don't want to keep my opponent waiting too much longer, so let's do this. I'm up against a very strong GM from Poland. Okay, d4, d5. I'm going to try and play solid in the first game because my opponent is pretty scary and he has a good score against me. So, okay, knight b d2. Yeah, if you see here as well on the chess24 ratings, he's technically 1900, but that's not really a good indicator of his strength. He recently beat Magnus Carlsen, no less, in the World Blitz Championship or World Rapid or Blitz Championship, I think. So, okay, I should focus. Solid, but very, very passive opening so far from me. And he's playing super quickly. Okay, do I just play e6? Do I play rook c8? Oof, I don't like my position. So yeah, those of you who are familiar with me will probably know that I don't play too much these days. I mostly commentate. Then again, I love it. So e6, let's just play rook c8. And yeah, chess is my life. Chess is my wife. And not because I'm attracted to these types of positions too much, but in general, I do love blitz chess. And okay, I'm just playing solid. It's really passive for me though. And okay, he finally breaks in the center. I've been waiting for this for ages because I had no idea what to do. But I'm hoping a plan will become clear. Do I play knight f6, kick his bishop? Probably not. Yeah, not the best position I've ever had. And for those of you who are going to play on my team today, the time control is 3 minutes plus 2 seconds. So you gain 2 seconds after every move. Time disappears very fast though. So I'm sure there will be some dirty flagging later on. Yeah, I'm going to be trying to win on time somehow because my position is a bit smelly right now. h3 though, shows he's being indecisive. Yeah, question is, what do I do? I have no idea, as they say. Do I break out with knight f6 and then c5 next move? Really unpleasant, my position. Do I just play bishop a8 and wait? Yeah, let's just wait. Keep my bishop on a defended square, pretend that I'm playing c5 next move. My fear is that he might play c5 himself, and then I'm just putting my bishop on a really bad square. But okay, he plays rook to e1. So he has some designs on the e file against my queen. Maybe I just move her out of the way. Let's evacuate the queen from the line of that rook. Okay, and still I'm struggling. Just when do I break out? This is not ideal for blitz. Do I break out now or later? Maybe the moment was last move. I've got to really speed up though. I'm playing so slowly at the moment. I've forgotten how to multitask. Okay, let's just kick his bishop. And then I'm going to go back to ask him what he's doing. Once he's replied, I'm assuming he's moving that bishop. Yeah, let's go back. I could have played c5 there, but felt like the wrong moment. All my pieces on the back rank, so I don't really want to open it up too soon. Yeah, actually, my opponent in this game, Bartosz Sochko, I first played him, I think, when I was like 12 years old in England, in Hastings. And I had a winning position. I had an overwhelming position. He was already a strong grandmaster, 2600. And I managed to outplay him, but then, yeah, he got me in the end. He was I was in time trouble, as usual. And he managed to take over. So, okay, I'm playing c5 now. Talking of time trouble, But then, yeah, after the game, he was so nice to me, so supportive. He was like, "Oh, you're going to be a grandmaster someday if you play like that." So I've always had a soft spot in my heart for this guy, for my opponent. Okay, so he's playing h5. He's trying to go for my king. Everyone does this these days. If in doubt, they just push their pawn and they hope for the best. Do I take on d4 now, or do I just be really passive and take his knight and try and equalize? I do see some flashy tactics, so I'm just going to take this knight just so I can demonstrate. Okay, he's pre-moving against me. Wow. I'll attempt to play knight e5 here just with some tricks and tactics. I'm hitting his queen, hitting his rook. Doesn't really do much, to be honest, but it's just flashy. So if he takes my rook, I take his queen with check. And so he has to move his queen. Now we'll do some swapsies. And bring my knight back. So basically, I've just traded everything off because I was a bit passive, a bit cramped for space. Queen there, that's a good move. So I really want to get rid of this pawn, and I really want to stop him controlling the open file at the same time, but it's not easy to do both. So actually, I'm going to control the open file, because I think that's the priority. I'm going to play queen d6. Actually, maybe he can play bishop c2 and rook d1. That would be annoying, but okay. He's going to try and checkmate me on this square. So I just have to remember not to allow that one. But now I control the open file. Queen and knight against queen and... Oh, wow, that's a good move. Oh. Yeah, I'll continue my thought process soon. I can attack the queen and then play queen f8, but that's really passive. Okay, I'm going to pre-move this one. I'm attacking his queen. I'm assuming he's going to try and threaten checkmate. Now, I'm not threatening this pawn because my rook's on pre. I've rather misplayed this somehow. I'm not sure what he's doing next, but I'm very unsure what I'm doing next as well. So maybe I just lift my rook and then try and take this guy. I'm just going to be a bit careful with my knight. It's one of my first times on the new chess24 play zone as well, so it looks really slick and smooth. Oh, that's a good move. Oh, God. Okay, he wants to play rook d1 next, so I'm going to play here. And can he play bishop b4? That's the question. Can I take on h6, take on c6, king e2 check? No, I have no time to work this out, so I'm going to have to curl up into a ball and go passive. I actually don't mind my position despite how ugly it looks, but just no time. No time at all. g4, so he's really trying to turn the screw here. He's going to put his pawn on g5. And I nearly blundered mate in 1. That would have been really bad. I was going to play queen d8. Oh dear, this has gone rather wrong. Yeah, I think I had a moment or two I could have maybe escaped, but now he's just playing with his food. What's he want next? Okay. I really don't know what I'm doing now. I have to somehow untangle, but I'm a bit stuck. Maybe I'm just going to have to play a5 and... Ugh. Yeah. This has gone very, very wrong. Oh, sorry, team. Letting us down. Oh, Jesus, this is bad. I'm going to have to play for one last trick, actually. Okay, I'm going to play e5 and try and unlock my position. I'm assuming he'll play bishop b7. Okay, now at least I have a threat for the first time in the game. Oh, yeah, so I literally just got in the door 1 minute or two before the match started, and I didn't prepare well enough, clearly. Okay, how do I save this? The problem is he's still threatening all the mates. Ugh. 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 Not my finest game. The problem was this square. Okay, let's run for the hills. He hasn't killed me yet. I'm assuming it will be soon, but not yet. Okay, he's got me, I think. If he checks here, he's got me. And I think I'm going to resign. Yeah, there we go. Well played. Oh, bad start. I wish I could play that all over again. Oh, dear. Chess is hard. But yeah, also playing against a top grandmaster who's not commentating is hard. Okay, there we go. My team, I'm banking on you guys. I want a rematch, and if it's a draw at the end, I get to play him again. So we need to make up for lost time. And moving on, we have the next game. Kevin, my man, you're on. You can do this. Kevin Pavetto, very strong IM from Argentina. I think I've played Kevin before as well online a few times, and he's very good. So, wow, these guys are way more ready than I was, blitzing in the opening. And okay, a Sicilian defense. A variation of the Najdorf. Okay, so Kevin, from my experiences with him, my teammate now, he is super quick and very, very sharp tactically. So he's, yeah, I'm confident in this one. He's playing the leader of our opposition team, Matibara, I think. Let me check that. Actually, I'm not sure how I do check. So yeah, he's playing a very strong grandmaster, as you can see by the 3,000 rating, 3,100 rating. And yeah, this one looks nice for white at the moment, but as we know with Sicilian defenses, they can turn in a heartbeat. Just one slip from either side, and the game will be, yeah, the game will be crazy. So yeah, I should have played a more aggressive opening. I'm regretting going so passive. Yeah, I'm actually streaming here from my apartment. I took a train. I walked for like 20 minutes to go to a really nice place to stream from, and then I found out that someone was already streaming from there. So I had to make the journey home. So yeah, hence the background. I don't want you guys to see my messy apartment. Okay, so standard stuff so far. I wasn't commentating too much on the moves because this was all quite well-known plans, both sides just developing nicely. But now white's jumped into d5 with his knight, and there was a trade. So white has the bishop pair, but then black has this fantastic outpost in the middle of the board. Look at those black knights. Kevin's going to have a tough time destabilizing them. But I do like his position. I like white's chances if he can get that rook in the corner out into the game. And if white's light squared bishop is also able to get out. In the meantime, okay, g4, I like it. When in doubt, play g4. Anyone who's been watching Vaikanze, and especially Mamajarov's games, will know that g4 is a trendy move, whether it's a sacrifice or not. So, okay, in the meantime, I'm going to try and keep up with the chat on my tablet, but I need to log in. Okay, this one is hard. Multitasking is not my strong point. Hence the talking and playing blitz being a bit disastrous so far. But now I can just follow your games. I'm enjoying it much more. Okay, b5. That's a typical Sicilian move, but what is b5 doing? It feels like, I don't know, in an endgame, those pawns will be weak for black on the queen side. Talking of pawns, it's a pawn storm. Both sides are pushing pawns. Whose king is safer? I like white's king. Look how safe it is. It's got a knight around it for protection as well. Queen b6. So yeah, the player playing black here, Bartel, he's, if it is him, yeah, he's super strong as well. Played him many times. I've been a bit thrown off by his username because Maciek92, he's definitely not born in 92. But yeah, he's known for being extremely fast, extremely tricky, practical player. Not necessarily always looking for the best moves, but always setting traps, always looking for ideas. And okay, he's put his rook on c4. For me, that looks really strange. I'm not really sure what that does. The rook on c4 is going to get kicked back by white playing knight d2 soon. Or white can move the queen and hit that black rook with the white bishop. Let's pretend I'm top grandmaster and draw some arrows. So white can move the queen out of the way and hit the rook with the bishop, or white can just retreat the knight and hit the rook this way. But Kevin, he's falling into the same trap that I did, spending too much time. Okay, he does go for one of the suggestions I mentioned. Very natural. The reason this square is good for the queen is because it defends this pawn. And wow, okay, a sacrifice. So black is just allowing this rook to be captured, but that's just a bluff. Look at these grandmasters, just bluffing. That's what I did in the first game the whole way. And now, yeah, black as well, bluffing his way into the game. So white did take that rook. And in return, black got a semi-open line towards the white king. But that doesn't do too much. That's not scary at all. Okay. Black does have a threat of checkmate, taking this pawn. It's protected. But yeah, just b3. And even if the black queen tries to sneak her way in, then the white bishop can just drop back to defend its king. So yeah, very, very safe king there for white. Kevin just got a winning position simply. White is winning now, but the hardest thing in chess is to win a one game. And okay, let's check back in on the chat. I think there might be another battle going on as well, another blitz battle with Team Ellen and Hans, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's hard to multitask and keep track of their match, but okay, let's focus on this one. So white's knight attacked the bishop. Yeah, that black queen is trying to sneak her way in, but again, this one does threaten checkmate, but then the white bishop just slides the whole way back, and every square is protected for white. Kevin, the only thing that could stop him now is the clock. He's played a masterpiece. It's going to be 1-1. I've let the team down, but we're going to get back into it. I also have some trump cards up my sleeve for later in terms of the team members. Got some friends of mine playing. Okay, meanwhile, time is balanced, so whose nerves are stronger? Yeah, also let me know, anyone watching, if you have any tech skills, hit me up. I'm thinking of starting to stream and I have barely any idea how to set up a webcam, let alone anything else. So I need your help. Oh, look at this. Every piece invited to the party now. White's rooks, perfectly placed. Look at this. Bishop c1. Oh, I don't use this word very often, but that is sexy chess. Look at that bishop on c1 tucked away. That white king. It's built a bunker for itself. That white king could withstand a nuclear avalanche right now. Okay, look at the clock times as well. Oh, you got this, Kevin. You got this. Oh, look at him upping the tempo, pushing pawns. Oh, look at that black king is so open now. Black's knight is the only good piece. I was going to say I'm not so sure about that one, but I trust Kevin. Oh, a4. Locking down the black pawns. I'm loving every single move here. Okay, both sides playing really quickly, actually. But Bartel went down to less than 1 second. Okay. Oh, look at this. Just trade queens. You're up on material. Don't drop anything. And yeah, this one is almost in the bag now. The black king on its last legs. Look at the white rooks. They're just, oh, look at the geometry. That's a check. Oh, there's checkmate too. Will he spot it? Oh, he does. Rook takes bishop. That's a check. And after the black king takes, the white queen's going to go to h8 and deliver the checkmate in the corner. Kevin, I owe you one. Thank you for bailing me out. And well done, taking down the opposition captain. Yeah, it appears that talking and playing is hard because both of the team captains have now lost. I lost in the first game, and now Bartel looks to have lost as well. And okay, let's race on to the next game. I'm tempted to just go through this game forever now because it was a masterpiece. But if I can open the next one, there we go. am I correct in this being the next game? Let me just quickly check. Sorry, guys. Yep, this is right. So Don Burley is my teammate here. Let's check out who Don Burley is. I only found out my team composition today, so I know we have some very strong players. And I would like to thank each and every one of you individually, if possible. So, okay, Caldas, keeping us waiting. If I'm not mistaken, Caldas is quite a well-known Chessable author, if it is who I think it is. Okay, I'm just trying to quickly check who Don Burley, check the identity. Come on, guys, don't tease us. Where are your moves? Yeah, so this new chess24 play zone, I was going to say, I've played on it a couple of times before, but yeah, it's so slick. It's so easy to play on. And okay, they are really keeping us waiting. So Don Burley, playing black, is my teammate, and his name is Julio Diaz. He's 27, and he's an FM, and he streams himself actually on Twitch. So yeah, you guys can go and check out FM Diaz later on Twitch. Yeah, it looks like his blitz rating doesn't represent his strength because 2100 blitz. Wow. Yeah, I was going to say 2100 blitz, but I think he's around 2400 over the board, classical chess. So actually, this is confirmation that Caldas is Kamil Plichter. I saw a poll earlier on Twitter that he was asking for first move suggestions, and knight h3 won the vote. I actually voted in that for knight h3, so a man of his word. It actually looks like, okay, I've just got a message, and apparently my board 3, I've just been raving about his Twitch channel, Julio Diaz. He's not turning up, unfortunately, so we're going to have a very, very special guest step in, one of my best friends in the world, one of my favorite people in the world. I'm going to keep you guys on tenterhooks here. I'm going to keep you guessing. Let me know in the chat if you can guess who our last minute substitute might be. Oh my God, this has made my day. It's been a difficult day, a long, long day, but this is the highlight. It looks like we are going to have one of the strongest streamers out there playing for my team. And he's got a match on his hands because Kamil is super good, super strong as well. So, okay, the game is stopped here. We'll try and bring up the new game link in a moment. I'll just wait on that. And in the meantime, I'll try and check out the chat on chess24. I'm struggling at the moment to locate where all the comments are coming in. But yeah, if I've missed any questions earlier, feel free to loop back and hit me with them again. Can we get a result before the game comes? Okay, so we do have some people in the chat. So Vanch, I know, is playing for my team. And yeah, I think he's going to rack up another win for us. So we are looking good. 1-1 at the moment, but still early days. Okay, I'm just going to quickly text and ask for a new link. It looks like, yeah, Simon Williams, Ginger GM, England's favourite child. He will be joining us, the man with the most impressive beard I've ever seen, that I've ever touched in the flesh. Yeah, Simon, if you're watching, hi. Yeah, Simon was here in Oslo with me a couple of months ago, actually just over a month ago, and we had some great times together, so yeah, I'm missing him a lot. Yeah, I'm in Norway at the moment, despite being English born and bred. And yeah, we have some very special announcements for you guys tomorrow concerning the Champions Chess Tour. So season 2 coming soon, coming in February. Yeah, so just while we wait for Simon to appear, let's talk through some of the other teammates that we've got. another good friend of mine, is going to be playing, I think, in the game after this one. I'll introduce her a bit later. And we also have a friend playing board 15 for us. He's going to round off the victory today. Stian, I hope you're watching. And hey, Kaya, if you're watching too. Yeah, I know that, well, this isn't necessarily about the winning, but I know that we have some strong players on my team. Stian, I've played before in many friendly games, blindfold games, drunken games, not just chess as well. So, yeah. So I'm hoping that Camille Caldas here, when we come back, he will also play one knight h3 against Simon, against the Ginger GM. And Simon, as a lot of you will know from Chessable, from YouTube, from his Twitch channel, he loves to play the Dutch defense. And actually, one knight h3, this move, is a good one only pretty much against the Dutch. Because after black plays f5, white will play d4. And actually, the white knight does have a nice square for it later on. So I'm wondering what Simon will have up his sleeve. I hope he's preparing with his website, gchess. Go check out gchess.com, one of the best tools out there. Yeah, Simon, I'm not sure there'll be many resources out there on knight h3 on move 1, but either way. Okay, are we going to get a game? If not, then maybe maybe we can move on to game 4 and then loop back to this one. I'll just try and see if that's possible. Okay. Yeah, these type of blitz battles, sub battles, types of things. I've taken part before, but normally I'm just kind of lying down on the sofa playing for a friend's team, and it's so chilled. It's so nice to be part of the team and celebrate the win. Yeah, it's hard to be the team captain. All the organizational skills, which I really clearly lack. Okay, I've been told the link is in the chat. Oof. This is me struggling to multitask. And here we go. Ginger GM, he's in, he's on. Simon, my man, you got this. Do England proud. Show these Polish FMs how chess should be played. Okay, so 1d3 this time. No 1 knight f3. Knight f3? Knight h3 even. Wow, it's such a weird move. It's just not even in my memory bank. Okay, so it looks like a mouse slip on d3, but knowing Camille, it's it's a bit of home cooking. He's probably studied this one right to the end. So 1d3, will Simon turn up or will he abandon us as well? I'm hoping all my teammates are still present. Okay, here we go. It's e5 and I can barely contain my excitement because Ginger GM, he's got this. I've played him a blitz so many times and he is a beast. He's going to entertain us no matter what the result. Result is secondary, just a bonus, but it's going to be an exciting game between these two, I can tell. Okay, d6, so just solidifying black center. I know which pawn he's going to push next. Simon Williams. With him, it's, I mean, it can be anything. You never know what's coming next with him. That's why he's one of the most entertaining players in the world to watch. He's going to be punting one of these. I'm pretty sure it's going to be this one. Maybe this one. Yeah, it's Freddie the F pawn. And it's basically a Sicilian defense, but with reverse colors. So black is playing the white side of a Sicilian, essentially. And look at this. Boom, 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 and GG. Game over. This king is doomed. White might as well resign already. Look at this. That is planning, advanced planning, putting the black king in the corner, just taking it off this diagonal. What a player. What a move. Okay, some quick stuff so far from both sides. White's trying to eliminate some potential attackers on the king side, so bringing his bishop out to trade itself off for that black knight. Yeah, Simon covering all the squares. I like it. And okay, White was a bit sneaky there. White opened up this bishop to attack a pawn, but black blocked that diagonal. Now, a couple of quick trades, and the bishop drops back. This, again, is a very well-known motif, normally with colors reversed. Putting the bishop on this square, it actually controls any square the white knight wants to jump into later on. So this is actually quite a decent piece. But in the meantime, yeah, this pawn is under fire, kind of. I'm not sure white actually wants to take it yet, because if white takes this knight, takes this pawn, the black queen can slide across and pin and win. The two white knights, one of them would fall, but it's an annoying semi-threat, and black does defend against it. Okay, really interesting clash here so far. Two really high-quality players. And I personally slightly prefer black's position, but it's hard to play. And there we go. One of the white knights gets kicked back. And how can black justify that lunge with the pawn? Oof, Simon, the ginger GM. Okay, and I'm just getting confirmation that everything's going to be fine with the next couple of players. Let's take the lead now, though. It's my style, actually. It would be fitting if the team does this too, but I always start slowly. I never start tournaments well. It takes me 3 or 4 games to warm up. So I'm hoping the team can rack up a lead by then, but if not, then not all is lost. Not too keen on that trade on the d5 square. White's bishop now slightly superior to black's. That being said, it's a nice diagonal. If black can just completely open up that diagonal, then I will like Simon's chances. This one is in the balance, though. This is the closest game so far. My first game, I was okay halfway through, but then I kind of lost the thread. The second game, Kevin Pavetto just destroyed his grandmaster opponent. Very one-sided game there. Bit of a brilliancy that I'm going to go and study later. But then this one is very, very tense. Okay, knight to b4. Okay, we'll see a trade of rooks, but this knight is attacking his bishop and pawn, so the white queen does jump out to defend. And now, okay, we see an exchange. Anything can happen. Oh, I'm nervous. You got this, Si. It's close on the clock as well as the board. Maybe this one. Maybe this one. Black can win a pawn, but it's not the best pawn in the world, and it would allow white's knight to gain access to an outpost. So I'm voting maybe not this one yet. And this one you can play, because if the white queen jumps up with a check, then black can just drop back and block. But, not clear what the best move is in that position. And okay, just a6. You see a trade of pawns, and this is maybe the one downside behind black's last couple of moves. Rook a1. So still level material, level everything, but white's queen is stronger than any other piece. So, okay, I like it. No back rank checkmates now. The black king has some breathing space, but threat in the position. Okay, yes, Simon, I think that was the only move, pretty much a forced move there. Trying to get the queens off the board. This queen is dominant, so why not exchange her? The thing about Simon as well is that in any type of position, better, worse, winning, lost, he will find some action. He will stamp his authority on the position. That ginger beard has magical powers. Okay, queen e6. So tricky. The idea was queen takes knight was not possible because the white queen could have taken the black rook. So now the rook's moved out of the way, but now the white knight is jumping into this square. The check. So, me and my arrows. I keep accidentally left clicking instead of right clicking, and right clicking instead of left clicking. Ignore me. Oof, white's won a pawn. Big threat checkmate now as well on this square. So black defends against that. Will he see that this is a threat? Still not entirely clear. White should be doing well with the extra pawn, but both sides under the 1 minute mark. Also, this might be a threat sometimes. You just have to be careful of this rook kind of getting behind later on. Okay, white now burning time on the clock. He's played this game really well, and this move does work, I think. Yeah, look at that. There was a double attack against the white queen and knight, but he found a way out. And unless that white knight is trapped, Simon, are you going to work your magic? Okay, oof. That's annoying. White has found a way to pin the black bishop. And yeah, it's looking very difficult now for black. Black is 2 pawns down. Black lost 2 pawns earlier. Simon, I've been praising your magician skills. You need to pull something out of the hat now. Okay. King f3. Interesting. I should clarify, this is just apple juice. This is nothing. It's not that late in the evening here in Oslo. Okay, so b4. Black is allowed to win a pawn back, but unfortunately at the end, white's king is going to get to the center. It's only a 1 pawn advantage for white, and bishops tend to fight well against knights, but too little, too late maybe for the ginger GM, and classy move there from white as well, stopping the black king, breaking into the 4th rank. Okay, how is white's winning technique? h5, stopping a knight check on g4. Okay, big question is, can white capture that bishop? It's risky, very risky to take that bishop if you've got no time, because black will get a dangerous pass pawn, but he's gone for it, and he's walking the king back now. Wait, is black winning? I think black might be winning. Oh my God, Simon, you beauty. Okay, yeah, I said it. I said it was be risky. Oh, actually, I'm not so sure he's winning. Okay, the problem is if you take that pawn now with black, then white plays king c2 and you're stuck. So you have to be really, really careful. Okay, now you take the pawn though, and who's going to be stuck? It might be black. Ay, caramba. 3 seconds. Okay, white's going to block it now, and black has to give way. So close. I think g5 might have been wrong. I think maybe king a4 earlier, and black would have been okay. But okay, drop back to which square now? Can white even break through? Can white make progress? Maybe the answer is no. Anytime the white king steps forward, black will block like this, and the white king has to give way. Oh, Simon, I think you might be saving it. Oh, I mean, this would be still a great result for us. And there we go. It's a draw. Simon, miracle maker there. A draw, a fair result, I got to say. And we go on. We move on. So, okay, let's check. This was a game from earlier, and now game 4. Not this one. Okay, let me just quickly find game 4. There we go. It's, okay, a battle of the women, I think. Marta Garcia Martin against Olivia. Is that Olivia? There's lots of strong Polish women called Olivia, so I'll try and check who that is. But yeah, let's get going with game 4. Simon, if you're watching, thank you for playing. Thank you for taking time out of your evening. I owe you a drink. And great result. Well saved. And here we go. Marta is on. And okay, Marta, one of the best Spanish women chess players out there. I got very lucky with my team today. Ginger GM himself, Kevin earlier scoring a great win, and now Marta, international team as well. Got an Argentinian from earlier, Kevin, Englishman, 2 Englishmen here. Now, Spaniard. Oh, I like it. Great move. So I'm not sure which Olivia is playing for her opponents. But WIM must be strong. And actually look at the ratings here. So close, so similar. But I like F4. Muy sexy move. White's going to go on the attack now. Black just castles. White develops. It's basically like a king's gambit, but you haven't gambited a pawn. So happy days. Oof, d6 from black. That is another move I like to see. That is passive. Black just locks down the center, blocks things up, but what's this guy thinking? Not enjoying life too much. This guy is enjoying life. Oof. Muy bien. Hablo muy poco español. Okay, now pawn takes pawn. I mean, look at these guys. One of them might get harassed though by this knight. That's a good move by Olivia. Okay, so we'll see a trade there. I still love White's position, to be honest. This is very similar to a lot of different openings, but it feels like White's got a good version. White's got an accelerated version because you have a stronghold in the center here. You have a great bishop out already. You have a semi-open file later for your rook. You're going to have ideas like this later. Oof. Too good, too strong. Okay. Also, I'm liking this, the clock time. 45 seconds more on the clock for White. Fast, solid, everything going well so far. So c6, just covering some squares, makes sense. Maybe some ideas of this one later with a check, but that's not too scary. Okay, and okay, black does break out in the center. This needed to happen sooner or later, but it's going to cost black a lot of time now to regroup and reorganize. Maybe White can build up an attack in the meantime. Look at this, thematic, logical, queen g3. That's a pin. Some ideas could include bishop here. Push when in doubt. When in doubt, that's what Simon Williams would do. I've been corrupted. I've been influenced by the man himself. Okay, bishop f5. Is that bishop really going to be a good defender here, though? I'm wondering whether my phone's nearby. I need to text Simon to say thank you for playing. In the meantime, I'm liking this position. An extra minute on the clock as well for White. If that situation continues, then I think black will struggle to defend later on. Anytime there's a pawn on the e5 square as well. Big attack, guaranteed. And I love that move. The knight dropping back. Maybe going to hit that bishop. Okay, the bishop preemptively retreats. I guess black's idea is this one, to plant the knight on an outpost, but it takes a while. I'm loving this again. Trade off that bishop pair. This is a textbook game so far by White. I'm loving every moment of this. Okay, I've got a good feeling about this matchup now. I mean, this Polish team is super strong. On paper, I think they had the advantage. I mean, they had two top class GMs. Both have been over 2650 in the past. And one of them beat me. So I thought it would be an uphill struggle. But so far, my players doing well. Team Howell. Team spirit. I'm loving it. Okay, black desperately trying to trade things off. It's still tense. I'm being overly optimistic, maybe. You see some exchanges. And, okay. Not sure who's better, to be honest. There's some ideas like this one. Check. And okay, it's not too dangerous, though. It can just be blocked. And I like that move. It's a mini loophole here for the king to escape to, if necessary. Loophole is definitely not the right word. My brain is frazzled. Okay, black meanwhile maybe trying to double rooks later in the game. Yeah, so this morning I was working on a newspaper column, and then I had to go in for some meetings and a photo shoot, and it's been a long day. So apologies if I stumble on my words, but in the meantime, okay, black does double rooks. I'm going to see a trade. There we go. Yeah, days like today make me love chess even more. I love staying busy, so okay. Slightly surprised the bishop recaptured there. This black rook was not happy with that last move, but then again, the bishop defends this pawn and does free up the black queen. So I think this would be a huge mistake. It's not a free pawn because the black queen would have come here and forked the white knight and the rook on a7. So sorry, I'm doing my best Hikaru impression by drawing all the arrows, but hopefully you guys get the picture. I like this last move, and by white, just putting a pawn on the dark square. And I was going to say, and this one as well. I was going to say it before that move was played, pawn to b4. Yeah, just stopping black from ever pushing this pawn to kick away the white knight. And just like the last game, just like the battle of Ginger GM, it's queen and knight against queen and bishop. And in that game, queen and knight had the advantage for most of it. It's the same again. The white queen and white knight are by far the better duo. Actually, if the queens come off as well, I think white still has an advantage. So I'm not sure white needs to go for that. I think probably Marta, who's a very dynamic player, she'll want to keep the queens on. She's the queen of this team. So the white queen, meanwhile, maneuvering. The black king, I was going to say running to safety, but it's not that safe. Look at this. The white knight's going to rotate, reroute itself. This is tense stuff. Whose king is safer? It's not clear. Okay, this one might come down to the clock as well. Who's got the better nerves? Weird check there by black, helping the white king run to where it wants to be. Nice. The white queen now dominates the black queen. The black queen cannot activate. And this is a beautiful play. The white king running to safety as well. Okay, I'm expecting to see some maneuvering now for the next few moves by both sides. It's about that clock. Who's quicker? Ooh, okay, neither side really wanting to commit there. Okay, but black now is taking a massive gamble, and I think that's a big mistake. White is going for checkmate now. I think white's got it. There's one. Oh no! Knight d7 would have been checkmate in a couple of moves, but this is still good for white. Look at that pin. The black queen now in a bit of trouble, but oh yes, Marta, you beauty. Marta, Spain triumphs over Poland. Actually, yeah, this is just as strong as the move I suggested, maybe even stronger. Queen takes b7, unstoppable next. Well done, Marta. We take the lead. 2.5, 1.5, and we move on. And now we have chess24 playing for us. So let me check. Who is chess24? I'll check back in on the chat in a moment. I notice I've neglected you guys, so chess24 from Germany, of course. Okay, no name on the profile, so okay, Chessy, whoever you are, I have faith. I believe something is in the air tonight, and it might be our victory. Okay, so very solid start to this game. Again, you can see by the ratings, 2 strong players, probably just as strong as some of the games we've seen so far. So this is board 5. We're nearly 1/3 of the way through. I think things will speed up. We had some tech issues at the beginning, but things will speed up as we go along. Okay, let me refresh the chat. What have I missed? 4 knights opening there. And okay, when in doubt, copy the opponent. This reminds me of when I was young. Okay, black doesn't copy for the first time. Black breaks in the center. But yeah, I was going to say, it reminds me of when I was young, and I used to get so annoyed when my opponents just copied all my moves. It used to tilt me so badly. Okay, whoa, the chat has been busy actually. Okay, Zealand Zen. I'm hoping by Mr. D he means Mr. David. I think he means Mr. Dodgy, who's taking part in a different team. But yeah, in the meantime, on we go. This is still very standard stuff so far. I'm liking what Black's done. Black's broken out in the center, actually got more space now. This pawn gives Black a strong hold, a footing in the center, whereas this pawn doesn't really contribute too much right now. Then again, this could be a target, hence Black bringing the rook across and indirectly trying to defend this pawn later. I have no doubt that Chessy wants to push forward with this pawn too. I noticed there are a lot of profiles on chess sites with 96 at the end. I'm guessing Chessy was born in 96. Maybe 96 is just the magical number when it comes to chess strength. I remember Black Horse 96 back in the day was a monster on the ICC. Of course, still a very strong player now. Yeah, people born in 96, I think they're so young, but even they're getting on a bit too. Okay, look at this. It's as if Ginger GM has infected all of us on Team Howell with our pawn pushes. I mean, aggression from Black. Maybe later this one too. Okay, first knight d4. I'm not that keen on this move because it will lead to some exchanges, and White was a bit cramped, so trades will only help White. Then again, Black is definitely not worse. Black's advantage is now the two bishops. Pawn structure is locked now. That's the only difference, so no dynamic play. And just as White's username suggests, this position is tense. Maybe the Polish player here thrives on the tension. Yeah, I'm loving our team composition, by the way. We've had someone from Argentina, Spain, Germany, UK, taking over the world, one blitz battle at a time. And okay, a3. I guess that white pawn in some positions could have been captured by that black light square bishop. So yeah, a3 though gives me confidence. It feels like White is unsure what to do, doesn't want to commit. Like me, got commitment issues. Queen c6, looking good. And okay, okay, Simon, I did miss a message from Simon Williams, Ginger GM, so I'm going to be super rude now. I'm going to break chess etiquette and just going to ignore you guys while I text him back and thank him for playing. Okay, in the meantime, an exchange of rooks. Okay, I've just said, thanks so much for playing. You the man. And love heart and arm emoji. Why not? Okay, so wow. Okay, I look away for 1 second and the position gets a bit weird, a bit crazy. So there's been an exchange of one set of rooks, and I thought that the tension of the pin here would force White to defend the knight or move it. But no, White is counterattacking against the black rook. Now the idea is if bishop takes knight, I guess just bishop takes bishop, and the black queen cannot recapture him because she was forced to defend that rook. But now the rooks have disappeared and the knight recaptures, saving itself and defending its bishop in the process. So every game actually, did we have this with me as well? We also had queen and bishop against queen and knight. I mean, Kevin on board too, his game was just beautiful and over before it got to the end game, but every other game has pretty much been queen and knight against queen and bishop. It's definitely something in the air, something in the water. Maybe this is another pandemic. Queen and knight versus bishop endgames. Oof, that's so hard to evaluate. Normally, queen and knight are the better combo because the knight does stuff that the queen can't, that the queen can only dream of. But then again, if the queen and bishop can team up well, here they're on opposite colors, which is good, then yeah, the bishop also a good piece. If the queens come off, anyone's game, but I would prefer the bishop. So, okay, clock time's almost level as well. I like that last move. Just hinting at some action on this diagonal. Whoops, making the white king feel uncomfortable. Not that diagonal. Yeah, still getting used to these arrows. Okay. Black putting pawns on dark squares, which is risky when you have a dark squared bishop. But yeah, no mistakes at all from either side in this game. It's been very tense, very level. Sorry, I just love that username. Tense. Okay, white doing the opposite. All the pawns on light squares. And now black finally taking over some light squares. Him or herself. Chessie, are you male or female? Okay. What's your trade? White has zigzagged with the king over to defend its knight. Ooh, okay. I was saying commitment issues, but stuff has been committed there. I'm not sure whether it's a crime that's been committed or just a genius move. Black has traded a set of pawns. The main problem, though, is that now this king lacks shelter, and look at this, double attack, and the pawn can't be saved because it's on a light square. Okay, that's a check. The white king has hidden. No more checks. Oh, come on, Chessie, you got this. Okay, nice move, trying to sneak in with the bishop. Okay, that bishop is pinned. Move the king. The black king does move. Okay, white. I must say, Tense has had some great technique so far. Look at that, everything on light squares for white. So I'm really hoping there's a turnaround. I'm really hoping Chessie gets back into this game, but so far it's been a bit of a strategic kind of shutout. Tense not allowing any joy for black. Okay, we see a repetition of the position. It's the second time we've seen this position. Will we see white continue to give checks and the game fizzle out to a draw? Or will we see white play for the win? Be brave. The pawns are disappearing, so that does help black's drawing chances. And more pawns disappear. Ooh, is that? I mean, it's not a blunder, but if this was calculated by Tense, then that is genius because white's king has just gone walkies. I thought it was a blunder. I thought there was going to be some kind of dirty checkmate there, some sneaky trick against the white king, but no. And now the black king is the one that's forced on the run. Ooh, look at the queen and knight. They're so good together. Okay, but they're forced back. And if black... Okay, black doesn't want to repeat moves, doesn't want to play queen a1 again. Go to the corner, and now white king is running. Wow, that is an adventure. If black played queen h6 check, then the white king would have run even further. Oh, 2 seconds though. Come on, Chessie, you got this. Oh, another pawn disappears. Is that the nail in the coffin? Oh, Chessie made that move with 0.3 seconds, and black bishop now drops. It's not yet over, but it's close. And okay, Tense has played this game like a genius. I'm wondering if Tense is a title player because, I mean, Tense has played this one like a top GM. Not just any GM, a top GM. Chessie, don't worry about it. That was a tough game, and your opponent played super well. So, okay, 5 games down, 2.5. Let's go on to game 6. And if I'm not mistaken, it's this one. Leo Pocci from Italy. If I can read my flags, I'm going to hover. I think that's the Italian flag. So Leo against Conrad. Okay, Leo Pocci. Let's do my research. Should definitely have done this earlier. But Leo, thanks for playing as part of the team, and good luck. D3. Second time we've seen that. I think I've never seen that in my whole career, and then I've seen it twice today in this blitz battle, 1d3. So I hope it wasn't a mouse slip. Leo Pocci. And Leo is indeed from Italy. Leonardo Bonalli, born in 2003. So we've got a teenager in our team, the young blood, the youthful energy. We need it because, as you saw from my first game earlier, there's no youthful energy here. There's some useful energy occasionally, but no youthful energy. And Leonardo Bonalli. Okay, sounds like a centre back for AC Milan or something. Leonardo Bonalli. Just doing a quick search on FIDE. Okay, so indeed, born in 2003. Ooh, I mean, nearly 2,700 on chess24. I'm assuming because Leo is quite young, maybe the pandemic has halted the development, and the classical rating, the over-the-board rating, is a lot lower than on chess24, but I'm optimistic. Meanwhile, remember, we can't trust the ratings too much. Conrad here, 1,500, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be higher. I mean, my opponent in game one, 1,900 on chess24, but 2,650 in real life over the board. So, yeah, beat Magnus Carlsen recently. So that's my defense. I lost to someone who beat Magnus just a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, get my excuses in early. Okay, meanwhile, this game is livened up a bit. It's still relatively balanced. White has a better pawn structure, but black has two beautiful bishops. And I would love to see one of them leave the board at some point. Those two black bishops are going to be hard to get past. And there we go. When in doubt, trade off the bishop pair. I mean, if we could get a position where all of these guys disappear, these four, white is just going to win. White has the better pawn structure. This guy is going to become the pass pawn. This doubled set are not too impressive. So, okay. Bishop pair is about to disappear. Okay, just taking a time out to defend the white knight. My one nightmare in this game would be the clock situation. But then again, I've been in that. I've been on Leo's side here when the opponent's just playing super fast, and it's unnerving. It's unsettling. Okay, it's like looking in a mirror with Leo because he's playing all the moves I would play. It's old man chess, as Magnus always tells me. But yeah, trading off the pieces. So black keeps saying no to the queen exchanges. Black is trying to get to the white king, but the white king at the moment is pretty safe. I mean, black needs to break through on the light square somehow. So he's trying that with a pawn right now, but white can just bypass that. There's a threat of checkmate. Leo will spot this. He's a strong player. He will see that, and he blocks with the knight. Personally, I would probably have just blocked with the pawn. I don't think there would have been any checkmates at any point, but whoops. Okay. White is being greedy, but I'm not sure this guy is too happy about it. Also, these queenside pawns are dropping, so that is a team. This bishop is going to zigzag its way back to safety, maybe capturing a pawn or two in the process. Ooh, yeah, that's shaky by black. Shaky, but it's okay. I made that weird sound because knight e4 I thought was a fork, but then the black queen could have just slid across with a check. So black did not blunder. Close, but no blunder. I'm not sure white should have put the rook on the square. That's helping black get to the dream diagonal with tempo. So black gains time now to plonk his bishop on a better square. Okay. Meanwhile, pawn to b6. Conrad. Oof. Nerves of steel. He's playing some difficult moves within seconds here. It's taking Leo a bit more time to conjure up some magic. 1 minute difference on the clock. Oh, I wish I could play now. I feel warmed up after watching all this great chess. I just wasn't in the zone when my game started earlier. Okay, so bishop e5. Wait, is queen and bishop against queen and knight again? I mean, the rooks are on the board this time, but this is getting weird now. Nearly every single game has had this material imbalance. Yeah. Am I dreaming? I don't even feel awake. Yeah. It's so rare to see so many different kind of configurations of the same piece imbalance. Okay, now everything's stacked up. It's not quite Alekhine's gun, as they say, which would be the queen and rook here trading places. The queen would be firing from behind, supporting the rooks. Meanwhile, this is a pin. Sometimes you pin and win. Sometimes you pin and it's just nothing. Okay. Wow. Oh dear. Leo there got tricked. He thought his opponent had blundered, but instead, Conrad takes the win. I just got to show this quickly. After bishop takes, this one is just fine for white. It's probably just equal, but he got tricked. He thought he was winning material, and white king got trapped. So, Leo, thanks for playing, man. I appreciate it. You just came up against another inspired player. Meanwhile, it's time for Ashfire, Norwegian superstar, Norwegian celebrity, Norway's most eligible bachelor, Askild Bryn. So one of my colleagues at the Champions Chess Tour, any of you who've been watching might recognize him from his Askild asking. It's hard not to say that with an English accent. Askild asking session, his segments where he interviews the best players in the world. Also one of Magnus Carlsen's best friends, Ashfire. Without him, I wouldn't be here in Norway. So Karakan, Hanoff Botvinnik, and I'm hoping that Ashfire can help us strike back. We were in the lead 2 games ago. Now we're 1 point down. Okay, so this is very, very standard stuff so far. White has an IQP, an isolated queen's pawn, but black does have a nice outpost in front of it. And Ashfire, he is known for being the 30-second man. He plays a lot of bullet chess, hyper bullet, ultra bullet. He's a quick one. Blitz chess. With time on his clock, how will he fare? Okay, so black does castle. This is just very balanced at the moment. And okay, I'm also getting a message from Simon Williams, Ginger GM, saying he had fun playing and he's wishing best of luck to the team. He said he enjoyed it, apart from groveling and struggling for the draw in the end, but he got it, and it was an important result. Okay, so Ashfire here, deciding the key question, to take or not to take, and he does it. Okay, so this type of idea is always really risky. Whenever you grab a pawn, I mean, look at this bishop as well. There's going to be some tricks against the black king potentially, but I trust him. He's got it all worked out. A pawn is a pawn. And against Pavel, I'm hoping he's feeling confident now. Ashfire. Both players playing super quick, actually, I should say, up to this point, which is always good. Everyone in the battle has played quicker than me. That's the key. I basically showed my team what not to do in the first game, and you guys are picking up the pieces behind me. So thank you so much. That's why team chess is better than individual chess. That's why I need to retire from individual tournaments. No one to back me up after the difficult losses. And okay, I think we might have just seen a blunder. That's a double attack. The black queen under threat now, and the white queen suddenly opened up with a bishop attacking this knight. Okay, that was a very quick response there. I think the black knight should just have dropped back. And happy days for black, pawn up. But currently, it's not over. Black will have a pawn for the knight, but now uphill struggle. I jinxed it, just as I said. I was loving black's position. Okay, can Howell wrap this up with the extra knight? Okay, I feel like I should stay silent, just watch and enjoy. But I want to somehow send my luck over there. He's playing a couple of kilometers away from me. He's playing in a famous Brins bar of Oslo, the best bar in the city. Okay, meanwhile, these Polish players actually, they haven't made any mistakes in the last 3 games. It's like watching a series of super GMs. Okay, meanwhile, retreating. That is good. Stay solid now. That's the key. Everyone blunders. I blunder all the time. Even the top GMs, anyone who's been watching by Kanze, you know those guys blunder. But the key is bouncing back. The key is struggling on. And just keeping your chances alive, keeping pieces on the board, that's the key. That's the tricky part. I mean, if you blunder and it's a king and pawn endgame, you've got no chance to fight back. But if you blunder a knight in the middle game, okay, it's not the end of the world. It's blitz. White, meanwhile, trying to eliminate all of black's pieces. But no queen trade for you. Queen d5. White is insisting, and that's going to be hard to run away from. Okay, the queen trade does happen. I mean, there was a battery along this diagonal with the white queen and bishop, so not that diagonal, that diagonal. So I can't blame black there for the trade. The problem is, white's pieces are flooding in now. White's extra knight will make itself felt sooner or later. Now this is trapped, can't get out, and that means that can't get out. Oops, sorry, I keep accidentally clicking on stuff. New mouse. I'll blame the new mouse as well for my blitz nightmare earlier. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just been perfect play by white ever since that blunder of the piece. No chances yet to fight back, but he's biding his time. Small lead on the clock for black. Could be decisive later. Meanwhile, the black rook getting kicked around. Not many squares. Only one safe one. Back in the corner. And okay, the white knight dancing. The white knight has used pretty much all the central squares by now. And maybe a threat in the position. I think black needs to get the rook out of the corner, give the black king some breathing space, keep an eye on his bishop. Otherwise, it might be curtains. The nightmare would be the bishop dropping back, the king kind of trapping in its own rook. So, okay, good move. But now actually the clock times are not in black's favor. So, board, clock. Yeah, let's not talk about it. Let's talk about the weather here in Norway, which is even more pleasant than this position. But at least white's been forced to retreat, so maybe a bit of nerves now from white. Hasn't finished it off yet, Pavel. And okay, maybe some chances. Okay, I'm feeling more optimistic now. Black has grabbed a pawn on b2. a3 is maybe hanging. White is desperately trying to exchange everything, but pawns can become useful later on. Yeah, Pavel, I said he played perfectly and he had, but now the winning mark, can I even talk? The margin for error is not so large. And Ashfire Askell has great instincts, great endgame technique. I remember checking out his aim chess stats, and they were fantastic in the endgame. He knows how to finish things off once he smells blood. Look how active that black rook is. Look how passive white's rook is. And now pawns are disappearing. Black is closer to the draw. If all of the pawns disappear from both sides, it'll be difficult, but black should hold. Okay, yeah. Here we go. They're marching. They are marching on. And the pawns go marching on. Okay, he's eliminated them all, and white only has one remaining. Oh, blunder! Yes! Check. Okay, ash fire. Nothing better than playing chess on a team with people you love, and I just love the fighting spirit here from ash fire. Black is completely winning now, 2 extra pawns, and actually this is the type of position that we study when we're young. Yes, black's king is cut off, but black has 2 connected pawns, and they can actually guide each other up the board. Black doesn't even need his king. And there we go. It's just step by step. One pawn marches, the other pawn marches, then the black rook drops down, and so on and so forth. He knows the technique as well. He's playing it instantly. He doesn't even need to think. I mean, it helps if the king is coming closer. What a turnaround. What a turnaround. I've even lost track of the score in the match, but I don't care anymore. This is dramatic. Oh, imagine if it's tied, if it's 7.5 at the end. I get a rematch, I get to play again, and it will be an Armageddon, and I will be in the zone for once. Oh, I have a great score in Armageddon chess, and I'm hoping I do get that shot. So, I jinxed it. Okay, one of the pawns has dropped. Black could actually just push b2 earlier and just made a new queen. But I hope Ashfire wasn't listening to my voice, and I was just not focused anymore. I was rambling, distracted him. Rook versus rook. Who's going to win? Oh, there we go. A draw is a fair result. It would have been heartbreaking for Pavel to lose that one, but kudos to Ashfire for fighting back and almost taking the win there in a dead loss position, piece down. Okay, so we're still behind. Ashfire, Pascal, thank you so much for playing and taking your time. So close. But we go again. My international team gets even more international with the addition of a Brazilian player, Fabiola Campagnolo. And I think all of our opponents have been Polish. So big Polish Twitch community out there, streaming community, I know that. chess24 Polish channels are very popular. Great to see. But yeah, uniting the world against Unasumus, as Fide says. All the nations out for Team Howell tonight. Steady start to this game. I'm just going to check out Fabiola's FIDE rating. How do I do this? I'll check on chess24 first, just to make sure that's the name. Fabiola. So, Campagnolo. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing these names right. And yeah, it looks like that is her real name. And from Brazil. Let's check the FIDE profile now. That's it. Okay, so Fabiola is born in 99. That makes her, let's do my maths, 22, 23. And she has a classical over-the-board rating of 1700, so a very strong player. And I could research our opponent, but nah, we only care about our team. No, come on, Fabiola, you've got this. Actually, I've heard so many great things about Brazil just in the last few days alone. I need to travel there. It's one of the countries I've never been to. So, okay, so this started as a Sicilian, a very quiet Sicilian, but it's livening up. One set of pawns have left the board. White's knight looking supreme in the center. It does exchange itself, but it could get replaced by another white knight. Maybe we'll see that now or in the next few moves. Yeah, I'm liking this position actually for white. Very safe, very solid. No real big drama yet in this game. Okay, nice move, clamping down in the center, fighting for that space. Let's check in the chat in the meantime. I'm hearing praise for Mr. Dodgy's games. That's not our match, that's another match. Okay, I'm hearing that there's a lot of drama happening in some other blitz battles, but you guys stay here. This is where the instructive chess happens. This is where you see the turnarounds, you see the blunders, you see the time scrambles. No other channels exist right now, no other matchups. Okay, so white's knight was attacking that black rook. The black rook ran away, and now Fabiola continuing to attack. She attacks the black bishop. Fabiola, for a moment when I read the name, I got excited that Fabiano Caruana had joined the team. Similar name, same initials. But nah, who needs Fabiano when you've got Fabiola? This is going to be a fabulous victory. And I can feel it already. Look at these pawns marching forward. These pawns are trying to suffocate the black pieces. I really like that last move. Maybe there was no need to rush. Maybe you could have pushed Harry as well. Harry the H-pawn. As well. I mean, Freddie marching forward is tempting, but yeah, pros and cons. And okay, I was going to say black should have instantly planted the bishop into an outpost in the middle of the board where it would have survived. But now Fabiola has a massive, massive advantage. She's made some big gains because this bishop is locked out of the game. How is it ever going to get back past this pawn? It's, yeah, I said instructive stuff, but this is just clinical so far. Great play. I'm optimistic again. We should be leading this match. If I hadn't had a meltdown in the first game, if I hadn't been too slow, too weak and too slow, then we'd be doing very well in this match. But okay, it's close. And I think this is game 8, so we'll be over the halfway stage imminently. Okay, queen g3. Fabiola, not messing around. I'm liking it. Wants to break through here. Yep, so let me quickly check. I think it's been 7 games. That would make the score 4-3 in our opponent's favor. Okay, so now it is a bit tricky. That's an annoying pin. And this pawn also attacked. So white might have to take a timeout to defend. Looking at the clock times as well, that could play a huge role in the result, the remainder of this game. Personally, I think it's time, just let this guy go. As the Frozen song would say, let it go and just defend the more important pawn in the middle of the board. But Fabiola, spoiled for choice. What is she going to choose? Okay, she defends that pawn with the rook instead. So maybe not ideal because the rook had a role to play here. But okay, she wanted to develop her bishop to an even better square. I like it. I like it a lot. Defending now, piling up everything to defend this knight. This knight is keeping everything caged. This black bishop stuck. This black knight not doing a great job. Okay, therefore it decides to jump in. Wow. Okay, pawn to g5. Not messing around. Putting on the psychological pressure as well. Because Cyprian is going to be in time pressure for the rest of the game. But tactically, does it work out? So Fabiola trying to break through to the black king, but whoops. How do I cancel these arrows? Sorry, there we go. Yeah, Fabiola trying to break through to the black king, but if you take this pawn now, then this knight falls. Actually, if you take either way, then that knight falls. So it's nightfall. The bishop steps back. Not what Fabiola was planning, but maybe the best move in the position. I think maybe just slightly premature with that last g5 push. She was doing very well before that. Still in the balance and time advantage. I really like the way she's played, Fabiola. Just everything nice and safe. And then trying to strike at the right moment. Maybe you could argue it wasn't the right moment, but still, look at that clock time. Now it just requires speed and trickery. Okay, attacking the bishop. Good start. Black's king is lacking defenders, only that one bishop around it, so it might take some sacrifices. And Fabiola, not afraid of that. It might take some sacrifices to break through. Okay, can we do it? Black is panicking. Look at the clock. Oh, Black is 2 seconds, 1 second. Black is, 0.1 second, 0.1 second. Oh, so close. Okay, but just create another threat, or give a check, or bring another piece in. Something quick, something unexpected. Black only has 2 seconds. 0.8 there. Giving up the bishop. Maybe it was wiser to save that bishop. That's a check. But now Black has an easy set of moves, and the queens are off, and no more attack means Black can pretty much pre-move. Black can play quickly and build up some time on the clock. If this was 3 minutes and no seconds, I would have loved it. Just all the dirty flagging, winning on time, playing for the clock. But it's going to be tricky now. Black has all the time in the world, 8 seconds. It's just that it's a simple position. Earlier, when Black went down to 0.1 second, it was not a simple position. I think if Fabiola had maybe created another threat there, Black would have panicked and lost on time. So close, so close. But she's fighting well. Black's extra bishop should eventually count though. And not many good squares for this king, unfortunately. Ooh, Black missing. Okay, Black twice had the opportunity to win a rook. Black could have played bishop f5 check, attacking the king and attacking the rook. And actually that option was available twice in a row. And didn't see it, so okay. Is luck somehow on our side? Take that pawn. Take that pawn. Please take that pawn. Take that pawn. I beg you. That would end up in checkmate if Black takes that pawn. And Black is panicking. Look at the clock again. Suddenly I'm excited again. Oh, take away the rook there, maybe. Oh, I think that was a huge opportunity. And now Black is just going to make a new queen and win. Oh, Fabiola. So close. You played so well. Oh, my heart is racing. I'm so glad I'm not wearing a heart rate monitor right now. Okay, 5-3, but we can still catch. We can still do this. Fabiola, thank you for being part of the team. And now another nation, another flag. I'm trying to recognize this one. I think it's South America. I want to double check that before I make a silly guess. Okay, here we go. Dorota against Monsezada. Again, excuse my pronunciation. Monsezada. I'm just doing some research on chess24. From Venezuela. I was going to say, is it the Venezuelan flag? Oh, I should have said it. I would have sounded so clever. I just wanted to check it wasn't like the Colombian or Ecuadorian or anything. I should have trusted my instincts then. Okay. I have another strong woman player on the team. So this is Vanessa playing Black. Vanessa Descalega Zacarias, according to chess24. And looks on FIDE that she is rated around 1800, 1850. So another young player, another girl. Great diversity in our team. I love it. Okay, so another Sicilian defense in the meantime. We see an exchange there. That's not so common for White. Normally White waits for a few moves before making that trade to gain a bit of time first. So Black actually has a very healthy position now, just needs to get developed. Vanessa, I'm banking on you. And Okay, I'll just check back in with the chat. People saying they're nervous. People talking about the clocks. People talking about waiting to start playing. Actually, yeah, for those of you who are waiting for your turn, thank you, first of all, for joining us and for joining our teams, whoever you're playing for. And yeah, secondly, I hope you're enjoying. And hopefully you'll be nicely in the chess zone by the time your game starts. So, okay, an exchange of pawns there. Will black preserve the bishop? No, just defends the bishop. I can capture with the knight, but instead chooses to develop. There are actually a couple of strong Polish players as well, called Dorota, I think. So this might be another all-female battle. It's great to see the women playing, getting involved. Yeah, so we had an all-women battle earlier between a Spanish player and a Polish player, and the Spaniard won. So now Venezuela against Poland. It's like watching an Olympiad. We see an exchange. This really looks similar to a game of Magnus Carlsen's against Vishy Anand from a World Championship match many years ago. I think 2014. Magnus just needed a draw with white, so he stayed solid. He played a line like this one, and it did fizzle out to a draw. But black is solid too, and I like that in blitz chess. Clock times, white is ahead. We need to strike back there. 2-point disadvantage. It's all my fault. I wish I played last. Okay. Black kicking back the bishop with the bishop retreating. Solid. Actually, the level, like the quality's been super high of this blitz battle. I've noticed this in chess in general in the last couple of years, like over the board, online, everyone's getting so strong nowadays. Barely any big blunders. We saw one or two small one movers here and there, but nothing game-changing or game-ending. Yeah, everyone's so consistent now. Vanessa, meanwhile, Monsezada needs to maybe speed up slightly. I like her position. She's done nothing wrong, very healthy, but time is of the essence. White does have ambitious intentions. I have a feeling White's going to block it up now, just because it looks like Dorota is an aggressive player. She doesn't want to trade everything off. But yeah, White wants to go towards the black king. Okay, I was wrong. I called it wrong as usual. Okay, you see knight takes pawn. I slightly panicked there with the hesitation because pawn takes was not possible because the white rook would have taken this bishop. So black has to take with pieces. And suddenly I'm loving black's position. Everything's cleared up, lots of trades, but look at this with black pieces slowly coming to life. The other rook's going to come in. Also, the black king has a hiding spot. Where is white's king going to run to if there are some back rank checkmates later on? So I'm envisaging taking everything here and then maybe trying to sneak in behind later on, try and get to this king. Oh, it feels like there's something super clever around here as well that might just win on the spot. Wait, is this? Oh, same idea. Maybe it's strong as well. Nice move from Vanessa. So after rook takes rook, she wants to take the white queen off. And after rook takes rook, that is defended. So black would actually end up with a huge material advantage. And how does white escape this pin? Maybe you don't. Same idea as the one I just pointed out, but... Oh. Okay, every game is so close. Every game has been a battle. And if we win this, the momentum is in our favor. Maybe they'll get nervous over there in Poland. I was actually in Poland recently, a few weeks ago for the World Rapid and Blitz, and I loved it there. Such nice people, such a nice place, and so cheap. Living in Norway, can be difficult at times, but yeah, Poland, love it. I need to go back. Maybe I'll only go back if we win though. Okay. Yeah, this is happening. Rotates rook. Black is going to snap off that queen. I think. Vanessa, yes. Take. She pre-moved. That's good. Upping the pace. And this is what I was talking about. The black king has somewhere to run. And it does run. But the white king doesn't. So white had to waste a move, avoiding any checkmates. Now black has time simply to get greedy. Go hunting. Okay, first kicking back the white bishop. I'm not sure that was necessary. Because now... Whoops. My mouse is really malfunctioning. But okay. Okay, a check and then trying to go for these pawns. Oh, there's a trick in the position. If white takes this guy, that's a nasty check and a double attack. Hitting the king, hitting that rook as well. Oof, Vanessa setting the traps, but the rotter doesn't fall into it. Okay, so actually, yeah, I'm slightly disappointed that these pawns are still on the board. They shouldn't have been allowed to survive, but now they are going. They are falling. And this one should be winning for black. The only thing that could stop Vanessa is the clock. That was a free pawn. Could have taken that pawn. Okay, that pawn maybe will be up for grabs later anyway, so not such a big deal, but a couple of opportunities to grab pawns and Vanessa hasn't gone for them. Other than that, can't fault the play at all. Great stuff. Yeah, this is my fear that the pawn might start it's been a long day. Might start marching. And there we go. The pawn is indeed pushing forward. That's the thing. When in doubt, just eliminate any potential winning attempts by the opponent. And the only way to try and win this game by white was to push this pawn. So you could have taken it off the board. The problem is a queen alone cannot deliver checkmate. She needs support from her pawns. Maybe it's time to push this guy. Or maybe time to march the king forward on the white squares. Okay, this pawn does push, but white is going to do the same. White is going to copy and block. I'm worried about this. We could have the same position, but essentially without this pawn. Oof, will that pawn come back to bite us? The good thing is black can take a draw anytime. That's a weird move, though. Okay, give another check. And then... Ooh, no. Okay, this is good. This is good. Yes, this pawn, Harry, holding the black queen's hand. Will this be enough for victory? It's checkmate next move. Oh, Vanessa doesn't spot it. Queen d1 would have been checkmate. Now it's definitely not easy anymore. Queen d1, checkmate in one move. The white king was trapped on the back rank, cut it off on the back rank, and that would have been over. Okay. Oh, what happened there? Vanessa, you won. White ran out of time. I mean, the white king can move a couple of safe squares, but you deserve to win there, Vanessa. Well done. We're fighting back. We're back in this. Great game. I need to visit Venezuela. Forget about Poland. Venezuela is where it's at. Thank you for playing, Vanessa, and well done. Meanwhile, now we have Junaid, Lucifer. Okay, interesting. Very interesting username. I'm assuming Lucifer isn't part of the real name, at least. But let's do some research on chess24. So Junaid, Lucifer. Are you there, both of you? I see both names are, well, they have the green dots next to them, which means they are ready. So Junaid, take it away. Let's get going. Let's capitalize on our momentum. Okay, no name on the profile. Just a quote from Tal on Junaid Lucifer's profile. You must take your opponent into a deep, dark forest where 2 + 2 = 5, and the path leading out is only wide enough for one. Yeah, great player, Mikhail Tal. Clearly an influence on Junaid's play as well. So, okay, we're off. We've got kickoff 1d4. What will we see now? Okay, so no French defense, no transposition. Instead, it's a Dutch defense. This is one of Simon Williams' favorite openings from the black side. So for once, I'm hoping the Dutch defense is punished. So Junaid adopting almost a London system type of setup against the Dutch. Very solid. White has a lot of space in the center and also very flexible. So I like it. I like it so far. And these two players as well, look at that, similar rating. It's going to get very close now. Very tense, only 1 point in this match. It might come down to the final game or two to decide who wins. I think we'll play all of them, no matter whether there's a winner with a game or not, a game to spare or not. But okay, Marcin Partika is the opponent. Okay, jumping into the center with a knight, but that knight could be captured and black would have to double pawns. Interesting decision there. Not a typical, not the typical timing for that type of move, at least. It's a typical idea, but not when black has to take with the pawns. And also, if you notice this flat bishop on b7, it's now blocked by its own knight and by its own pawn. And that bishop is supposed to be the active one in this type of position. So, meanwhile, you have to move the knight. It's attacked. Just have to choose as good square. I think black's idea is if the knight jumped back, then actually there was a tactic, knight takes pawn. And if the pawn recaptured, then this bishop would fall. So I love this one. I think that's the best choice of square. Offering a trade. Why not exchange pieces when you have a better pawn structure? Also, weaknesses in black's camp, undefended. You have pawn breaks. Oh, what more can you ask for from the position? This is beautiful. Early days there. Just getting carried away, but now it's really beautiful. I mean, this one, it's a pin. Oh, whoops, sorry. My mouse. This one, how do I get rid of that? Yeah, that one is a pin. You attack the weak pawn, undefended pawn, and when black defends, reading my mind. And going to the king. Also, the rook behind might well drop off. This is just winning for white. This is why we just say stick to basics, cover those fundamentals. White has done nothing in this game, really. Just put pieces on good squares, but has already built up a winning position. And okay, pawn is defended. Now this looks good. This looks good. This looks good. Just bring the queen out, looks good. This looks good. Okay, I'm getting carried away. Yeah, most direct and probably strongest is just this one. Why not seize the moment? Okay, the queen jumps out instead. Very natural. That's another thing. If you don't see a killer blow, just improve a piece. Yeah, so the reason I was advocating this pawn push is if the black pawn moved, then the rook would have fallen behind it. Still available. Same idea. But actually, white has so many tempting ones now. You could just improve a rook again. Black is not getting out of this anytime soon. Or, yeah, one of these two. I think the rest of the white pieces are perfect. Yeah, this reminds me actually of a game I played in the Grand Swiss a few months ago against Anton Korobrov, the Ukrainian #1. I also managed to win, and it was also this pawn structure. They were just too weak for black. Ooh, that's interesting. So black is zigzagging back to defend. Great defense. Sturdy defense, at least. But now this is undefended. Maybe it's time to go for this one. Okay. Just slightly concerned about the clock situation. Hopefully it won't become too big a factor later on. Okay, going for this guy that's been abandoned by its bishop. The problem is it can just advance and keep itself safe. And white's queen has meanwhile sidelined itself. Okay, a trade. This is isolated though. Nobody likes an isolated pawn. Then again, if you recapture in the right way here with white, which Junaid does, look at this. That's a backward pawn. That is never going to advance. This pawn is going to be a target forever. And actually, Junaid just blocks it. That was a free pawn up for grabs as well. Doesn't want it. It's not running away, but it can now be protected by the black queen. So white would have centralized the queen in the process as well, which is also kind of a desirable thing. Now he spots it, or she spots it. I don't know, Junaid. Yeah. And Marcin sacrificing rook for bishop there. It's a check, but it's just one check. White is decisively ahead in material. This is a winning position for white, but twists and turns ahead. Maybe. I think black has to try and get active. Black doesn't seize that opportunity though. And the black queen is going to get kicked out of the position. I'm slightly worried that this rook is just going to sit there forever, not doing much. It's attacking pawns, yeah, but it's just controlled by this bishop. At some point, you need to reroute it, retrace its steps. Okay. This one, a long way to go still. And okay. Nice move. There wasn't much else to do there. Productive. Maybe not the ideal square, because now this hangs, but okay. White still has the rook for bishop advantage, and black didn't see the pawn that was on offer there. Okay, I'm just going to try and do some counting so I can remember the score. So are we 1 point down now after 9 games? So I think it's 5-4 in their favor. So it might be 5-5 if Junaid can take this one over the line. It's been a bit shaky ever since establishing that material advantage. But this last move, swapping queens, pretty much forcing the swap, looks very, very strong. If the queens come off, it's a matter of technique, as they say, but with best play, white would be winning there, should be cruising to victory. Same number of pawns, rook for bishop advantage. Okay, they do come off the board, and now that backward pawn had to be defended. Okay, white connecting things. Oh, this looks good now. Pin and win. Activate that rook. You could just defend this pawn. That's a safe, sensible option. Junaid does it a different way. Also, very nice. Oh, there was a blunder, a mutual blunder there. Black could have brought the bishop out, checking the white king and skewering against the rook, winning the rook. But black's king blocked its own bishop. Okay, that's why never, ever put your king on the same square as your opponent's bishops. And okay, Junaid, realizing the king wasn't great there anyway, not just because of that check, retreats. And black retreats, so that idea is still in the position of the bishop coming out. White has put everything on light squares though now. That is good. That is safe. And okay, it's not easy to find the winning breakthrough actually for white. Black is kind of curled up into a ball and trying to stay solid, meanwhile going active with the rook. So great defense so far from Marcin, but okay, how can white's rooks get into the position? At some point, because black has a blockade on the dark squares, it might make sense to sacrifice on this square. As long as you get the bishop and pawn for your rook, you'll still be a pawn up in an endgame and great winning chances. But in the meantime, not easy. And that was up for grabs there. How do you avoid the checks? Ce n'est pas facile, as they say in French. Not easy. All the checks in the world now. Now black is going for these pawns. So oh dear, the pawns are disappearing, and it's not actually easy for white to play. Where's that rook going? Looks nice. Okay, actually, black should have kept the white king cut off, because now, this is just, do it. Oh, it's happening. This king walk, the immortal king walk of Nigel Short is well known, but this would be even more immortal. This one would go down in my memory forever. I think this pawn is doomed now, so you have to go in with the king, but no. We see a trade of pawns instead. Oh, don't go back. Never go back in an endgame. Time to sneak in to get that bishop. White's king now is cut off on the 5th rank. That would have gone down in the history books. I mean, if I ever wrote an endgame book, that position would have featured if white had gone in with the king. I think that would have won the day. Black's bishop is the only piece holding everything together, and the white king was the only piece that could have destabilized it. Meanwhile, oh dear, I'm not so sure about this, because look at this rook. Oh, black could have locked in the rook there with the bishop. Now it's not so clear. Oh, now you can get the rook out. Oh, I think black would have been winning if the bishop had... The white rook repeating Are we going to see a repetition of moves and a draw? We do. Actually, black is winning in the final position. If black just plays bishop f6, locking in this white rook, white is doomed. White's king can never grab these black pawns because black would just march forward and win. So, okay, Sinead, so close to winning that one, but in the end, draw a fair result. Oh, it's as if they're setting it up for a tense finale now. This one, making me so nervous. Okay, so Sinead there with white, almost taking the win. And now it's up to Old Farmer's Almanac to take us away and to try and restore the balance. Looks like both players here are relatively new to chess24, so welcome. They're both starting with the 1500 rating. That's like the default setting that we get. And then ratings go up or down depending on how you do. So yeah, Old Farmer's Almanac. And that, I know, is the Canadian flag. So I'm just going to do a bit of a Google to see whether I can find out the identity of the Old Farmer. But yeah, in the meantime, it's been a Caro-Kann defense, and Old Farmer is playing one of my favorite openings. I actually talked about this quite a bit in my course for Ginger GM a few years ago. So yeah, maybe Old Farmer has been watching, paying attention. This opening, I think about 2 years ago, was just a guaranteed win for black. White had no idea what to do against it, especially in blitz. Black can pretty much play every move on autopilot. White lacks a plan. And that's purely because black's king is so safe behind these 4 pawns. I call this the bug house structure. If any of you have played exchange chess, bug house chess, you never get checkmated if you have this wall of pawns around your king. And in blitz chess especially, that is the key. White, meanwhile, will have 3 pawns in front of the king, but that's less safe. And okay, now I expect black to start developing, I was going to say the knight or the bishop. Very healthy position. So let me check. Old Farmer's I can't spell Almanac. Okay, from Canada, Chris McDonald. I wonder. Actually, one of my biggest childhood rivals was called Chris McDonald, so that's funny. But I don't think my childhood rival moved to Canada, and it also looks like this Chris McDonald, born in 1969, is slightly more experienced. So I'm going to search in FIDE now. Ooh, that is risky, advancing pawns on the king side. Yes, breaking the pin. Yes, you've chased this black bishop back, but now white's king will never feel safe on this side of the board. I like it for black. Also the clock times. Okay. Chris McDonald chess. Surprise, surprise, there's about 1 million Chris McDonalds who play chess. Let's search Chris McDonald, Canada. FIDE? Chess, Canada, FIDE. Struggling here. Christopher McDonald. From Scotland, from Canada. Ooh, but this Mike McDonald, I give up. I don't give up for our team. I think we've got this, but I give up trying to find out Chris, the Old Farmer's identity and rating. Okay, black has a grip on this f4 square and so offers a trade of bishops. I like it in a way for black, but then again, you've got to prioritize developing pieces, and that black knight and black rook in the corner not participating. Also, long-term, white has a better pawn structure because black's pawns, yes, they keep the black king safe in the opening and middle game, but in the end game, they don't really help. These 4 are not necessarily better than white's 3, whereas white has a potential pass pawn later. So, yeah, so you've got to be quick, dynamic, aggressive, and trading pieces does not help that. That guides things closer to the end game. So, Old MacDonald on his farm is not singing E-I-E-I-O yet. It's okay. Good knight maneuver. The knight is heading for the center. Okay, white is attacking the black rooks. We might see a trade of 1 set of rooks. I was going to say black's knight wants to sit pretty on this square and then maybe even jump in later in an endgame to this one. Yeah, black's queen defending everything. Good game by both sides so far. I think they might be more experienced than their chess24 ratings might hint at. But okay, white's knight heading into the dream f5 square. f5 is always a key square for a knight, for a white knight. So normally I would suggest just pushing up onto g6, stopping that white knight entering. Just, it's autopilot. If your opponent threatens to put a knight in f5, just stop it. You don't want to suffer the consequences. Meanwhile, black decided not to stop it yet. Instead, trading off a set of rooks, forcing these rooks off. And, okay, will we see the last set of rooks disappear? Okay, it's time to keep this knight out of the farm. Just push a pawn. Give the black king some breathing space as well. You don't want it to suffocate. Okay, trading rooks first, but now, oh, don't trade queens. That's the one rule of this opening. You have the worst pawn structure, so keep pieces on the board, especially the knights, especially the queens. This one's going to be an uphill struggle now. More time on the clock. Anything can still happen, but okay, this is good. If there's a trade, black undoubles these pawns. This is the main weakness in black's position, and they're undoubled. Back in the business, back in the business, back in the game, back in business. I really can't talk today. And okay, white's king, the first to centralize. Black's king needs to do the same, sharpish. f6, yeah. If you're going to play f6, which is a good move, dominating this white knight, stopping it jumping forward, then maybe black should have done the last move. And now it's time. Okay, old MacDonald, the king of the farm. King e6. This king is active. White's king equally active though, if not more so. This is tricky still for black. I think it's time to try and check and trade things off. The more pawns you get off the board, the safer you are, and white's king is slightly more active than black, so I think it's best to be safe here. If you leave it too long, then later the white king could try and creep in once the black king and knight have been driven away. But okay, just waiting. A waiting game. Sequel to Jovanka Huska's The Mating Game, The Waiting Game. Neither side really really unsure what to do, I was going to say. So just pushing pawns. This one feels a bit premature, a bit hasty, but maybe there's no way to punish it. This pawn undefended now though, so maybe the black knight can try and move forward. Maybe you can push this pawn forward to kind of ruin the integrity of white's three musketeers here. Okay, king d6, that's indecisive, but old farmer, he's playing quick. Chris MacDonald, my old rival. That knight is going in the wrong direction, but no, this is not the way for black to break. Black should have broken when one side has three pawns in a row. Break the central pawn. If you break the central pawn, the two on the side will also become weak. So I'm not so keen on that one. I think white had an even better response actually, but now it's still in the balance and black's knight is at least creeping in. The clock is going to decide this one. I think black has an advantage in practical terms, but not so sure about that one because now white's knight is the one creeping in. Black's knight is not going to hit any white pawns. Slight carelessness there from the farmer, the old farmer. Okay, that's a check. Forcing the white king away. It does look like black is more confident of the two. If it comes to a time scramble, not much material left on the board, but still all the chances if you're quick and if you're tricky. I think it's time to go for this pawn. White is definitely going to win your pawn anyway. Okay, what does black want to do here? Does he want to go this direction and win this pawn? Oh, he's just given away a pawn for free. The black knight, yes, it's centralized, but it could have been stacking on those white pawns. And now the clock time's balanced out. And black is going in the wrong direction. Black's knight is back where it came from and trading knights. White could have taken that knight and white has an extra pawn in the same game. White would have been winning. Now it's a race and I can't calculate. These players are going to have to calculate like beasts now. King d5. Now black can push Who's quicker? Whose pawns are running? It's going to be black. Black is making the queen first. Come on. Yes, we've got this. We're going to equalize now. Bring the queen back. Stop that pawn. Oh, queen a7 check. Putting the queen next to the pawn would have won it. Just bring the queen back now. Just blockade. Yes. Beautiful move. And 13 seconds. Okay, you've got to be slightly careful, but oh dear, it's another race. And now it's not so clear. White's pawns are marching. Oh no. Oh no. Extra queen and still not winning. Oh no. Oh, we've been so unlucky in this match. We've had so many winning positions. The problem is the black queen. Yeah, queens are the worst blockaders. If white didn't have these two pawns, like, for example, the c pawn now, the queen would be okay blockading, but no, lost on time as well. I think it's still a draw if black just takes that pawn. No. You had it, Chris. Thank you for playing. So close. Had me on the edge of my seat. And okay, we're 2 points down now with 4 games to go. This one is not going to be easy. Okay, we can still do this. We can still do this. Oh, I'm heartbroken. Story of my life. So close. I'm so proud of my team, though. The fighting that's been going on. We've been so unlucky. I think if we stopped the games, all of these games that move like 25, 30 and played them out in a long time control on the board, we would have won this match ages ago. But yeah, they're always so close, so tense, and then just not quite in our favor. And okay, in the meantime, I'll stop moaning. I'll stop bemoaning my luck. We've seen a similar position to this one before. We saw Mini Marta earlier winning a game, Marta Garcia winning a game from the white side in this type of opening. And now Ivana May. Ivana, have you been watching? Have you been taking some tips from our teammates? And I'm just going to do some research here on Ivana May. Is that a new flag? Is that a Mexican flag? Oof, I'm not great with my flags, I must admit. Let me double check. So, yeah, I want to, I mean, if Ivana is indeed a girl, as her username would suggest, then we've probably got the best balance of all the teams. Okay, Ivana May. It's not confirmed on the profile, no official name, but yep, it's Mexico. I was right with the flag. And yeah, Ivana would be, what is that, our 4th woman player? Maybe even our 5th? Yeah. Okay, meanwhile, I'm loving her position as well. I mean, this is going to be the most annoying pin in the world for black to deal with. Also, this bishop on a great diagonal. This black pawn in the center, a bit lonely. It's going to be a target long term. Tempting white to sacrifice to open up the king. I'm not sure whether it's good. I'm not sure whether it's the best move. You can just drop back with a great position for white, but black is playing with fire. This could be the comeback, a win here for Ivana. Could be the start of something new. I'm singing High School Musical in my mind now. Start of something new. Okay, to take or to retreat. Both decisions are good here, I think, for Ivana to sacrifice an attack or to just kind of play the longer game and just take a timeout, improve the pieces before attacking. But speed is required. And just because I'm an old man here as well and I play old man chess, I would love to push that pawn forward and fix black's pawn structure, stop them advancing. Okay, that pawn only marched forward 1 square. As soon as white castled queenside, I thought black had to open it up as quickly as possible, push 2 squares forward and go for the white king. Now white has some time. Maybe it's time for Gary, the G pawn. I hadn't even finished saying it, and Ivana has played it. Yeah, open up those lines. When king's castle on opposite flanks is all about open lines. You don't care about pawns. You don't care about pieces. It's just opening lines towards your opponent's king. I'm loving it. It's like that Mackie D's, the McDonald's advert. I'm loving it. Now white has a simple plan. At some point, maybe even sacrifice on the square. You bring one of the rooks opposite the black king. Yes, that rook can be captured, but we've seen a blunder. Was that a mouse slip by a miracle? Miracle? That's a cool name. Black has just put the queen on the wrong square. I think that may have been a mouse slip, but black was in huge trouble anyway. White's bishop took the queen on the square. White has an extra queen for bishop. I'm hoping this isn't like the last game where black had an extra queen and didn't win. I'm hoping that white's extra queen here does decide the game. Okay, this is just perfect play. I mean, this has been one of the most convincing games of the day, actually, I must say, ever since maybe board 2. Yeah, white just cruising here. Cruise control. Pushing forward. This king, weak. No defenders around it. This king, safe as anything. Safe as houses. Okay, some tricks. Black was attacking this knight, and okay, black tried to pin and win the white queen, but it didn't work. White's bishop keeping this diagonal nice and safe, and white now is a full queen ahead. There we go. Resignation and Ivana, thank you. We're back in it. We're back in it. 3 games to go. Let's do this. Now, countryman, Rochambeau. I think that's a game. Is that tic-tac-toe? Rochambeau? Rochambeau. I'm going to have to Google this, sorry. But yeah, the UK flag. Oh, it's not noughts and crosses. It's rock, paper, scissors. Rochambeau. Let's win this. And again, we're playing the Polish national team, it feels like. We've had South America, North America, Europe. I don't think we've had an Asian player. But yeah, we're really crossing international waters with our team. Rochambeau, you've got this. It's the Italian game. Black gives a sneaky check there. Will white block or move the king? Meanwhile, let's do some research on Rochambeau on chess24. So I'm just searching in chess24. Rochambeau maybe hasn't played that many games before. I'm just judging by the 1500 ratings, actually, of both of these players. That's the default setting that you get when you join chess24. It looks like Rochambeau is quite active on the bullet scene on chess24 and quite active with practicing tactics. I love it. That is a good sign. Doing the tactics trainer on chess24. Actually, I remember for basically 1 whole year in my mid-20s, I spent it on chess24 every day, just addicted to the tactics trainer. So yeah, basically got me through my last year of university. So okay, the fact that Rochambeau plays bullet, practices tactics, means that I am confident. KG start so far though, just very, very tentative from both sides. Just putting their pieces on normal squares, both sides are castled. Happy days. I like that one. H6, giving the black king some breathing space, also taking squares away from the white pieces. That's never a bad move, always useful. As long as nothing more urgent is going on. Oh, I'm literally on the edge of my sofa right now, just barely stand the tension. I need to do some maths as well. Let's get the calculator out. So this is game number 13. So we've had 12 games and the score is, if I'm not wrong, 6.5, 5.5. Someone needs to correct me. My maths is, yeah, not the strongest. I'm hoping, yeah, I saw in the chat as well, someone asking whether these games are unrated. I hope so, because I played a 2650 GM in real life, someone who beat Magnus Carlsen just a couple of weeks ago. And the rating on chess24 is 1900. And I spent years building up my 3400 rating on chess24, playing games against all sorts of people. So I'm hoping the games definitely didn't count. Okay, meanwhile, just catching up with the chat. Oh, it sounds like Team Hans and Ellen were leading in the other matchup, but Who needs that when you've got all this drama, all this action? Meanwhile, it looks like Bullion here, the Polish player playing for our opponents, is very familiar with the plans. This setup for white, putting a bishop here, the knight's over here. I mean, these pawns on these squares, later you push here. I mean, this is all standard stuff. This happens all the time in both beginner games and in Grandmaster games. So Bullion definitely has been studying, maybe with Chessable, maybe with some books, or just some top player games, and knows where to put the pieces. But the thing is, you can study the opening all you want. How do you handle the middle game? And it's taken both sides a long time to get here. This is maybe the slowest game so far. Maybe I've tired out these players with my voice. Maybe I've put them into a trance. Okay, the white knight's now jumping forward. We've talked about the f5 square. They're both ready to pounce. Okay. I'm just reading the chat. Sounds like they're debating the difference between god luck and good luck. That'll be an eternal, eternal dilemma. Okay. There's actually a threat in the position right now. White is trying to jump forward with his pawn with a double attack, and black misses it. That was actually a strong move as well for black. Black could have jumped with the knight. White spots the fork, the double attack. But it's not the end of the world. If black retreats to the a7 square, I think that's the safest one because you don't want to get hit when the knight disappears. You need to keep this bishop. It's better than the black knight. So drop it back. Okay, he does drop it back one square, but I was going to say, at some point, the knight could jump forward, attacking this square with the bishop, and the queen would suddenly eye up this knight on the corner of the board. I think earlier that tactic would have been winning for black, but it was missed. And now white is a knight for a pawn up. Still many twists and turns ahead, but that could be decisive, potentially. Black was attacking that pawn, so white has defended it calmly. I must say, Bullion has done everything perfectly here. I mean, one small slip, I think, bring this knight to the edge of the board before preparing it properly. But in general, Bullion has impressed in this game. Rochambeau needs to defend British honor. Do this for the queen and country. Okay, so we see another trade. And yeah, the more pieces that disappear from the board, the lower Rochambeau's chances become of a swindle, of a comeback. You never know. I'm going to be optimistic. I've seen weird and wonderful things happen today. Okay, I'm just trying to check in on the Twitch chat to see if anything's going on over there. So trade of pawns in the center. No. What is that move from Bullion? Suddenly it's really unclear. Suddenly, if you take this pawn, black has all the pawns in the world, and there's a pin on this file. Ooh, wrong capture. I think the other one would have been very promising for black. Still fighting, still back in the game. It's not over by any means, but yeah, these exchanges might favor white. Look at the clock as well. Look at that clock. Okay, black's rook's centralized. Rochambeau, I've seen you've been playing bullet on chess24. You need those skills now. It's all about speed. It's all about tenacity and tricks. Stop exchanging as well. When your piece is down, you don't want to exchange off pawns too much. Okay, white has an extra bishop for 2 pawns. But will these 2 pawns be sufficient? Right now, no. Need to bring the king onto a dark square. Need to get that rook active. That's a good start. Bring the rook. Activate it. I just hate how active white's pieces are as well. Rook on an open file. Oh, it's all about the clock. I can barely watch. Okay, white's bishop keeping its pawn protected. Oh! Will he see it? Will he spot it? Will he see he could just take that knight or win it with the rook? Yeah, he takes the knight. Second piece falls. Rochambeau, keep fighting. You got this. Keep fighting. It's not over. If you trade all the pawns and the rooks, you might still survive. But this is killer technique from Bullion. So close. Almost want to cry. Yeah. Problem is, bishop and knight together are super powerful. Sometimes they can even fight off the queen, at least for a while. And okay, you're nearly winning back one of the pieces. Oh, he has won back one of the pieces. And white didn't even take that f7 pawn. Okay, this one is still on. It's all about the clock. Oh, that's a nasty check though. Okay, good. Don't go to the corner. Run to safety. Run out. Yes, run for the hills. You need to keep all of your pawns as black. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Move. Oh, not on the edge of the board. No, it's going to be checkmate. Oh, no. So close. Rochambeau, you are a fighter. You're a gladiator, sir. Just not close enough. Us Brits, we've let the team down today. We are sorry. Meanwhile, Vanch has been one of my my most vocal teammates on social media. So I'm banking on you now. Vanch, you have got this. Vanch has promised me chaos as well on the board. Apparently it's going to be messy, but it's going to be fun. So I believe. So we need to win this game and our last one to take this to Armageddon. To save the day. I'll get a chance to redeem myself, to restore national pride. Okay, meanwhile, Vanch, very quick start. Open Sicilian, as they call it. Instead of pawns been traded, knights come off the board. Vanch now just developing. Which side is he going to put his king later on? So Vanch from India. So we do have a player from, we have players from several continents now. Europe, North America, South America, Asia. Life is good. Okay, I'm seeing lots of people typing the word F in the chat. Oh, is Vanch a woman? Maybe this is where I'm going wrong. Okay, let me do my research again. Meanwhile, as I was distracted there, Vanch has walked into a fork, a double attack. It's actually not the end of the world. White can, here it looks like you're losing a piece, either this knight or the bishop, but you can counterattack. So sometimes when it looks like all is doomed, you can counterattack against one of the opponent's pieces. So you leave your pieces up for grabs, but you fight back and hit black's knight. It's still not great for white. I think he'll come out. Okay, he or she finds it. But yeah, I think that's the only way to keep the fight alive. And yeah, you might come out a pawn down, but the game goes on. Live to fight another day. Is that James Bond title? Live another day. Die another day. Die another day. Okay, so Vanch, let's check you out. Okay, so Vanch from India, premium member on chess24. The baby of the team, the kid of the team. Okay, born in 2004. Decent bullet rating, decent classical rating on chess24. So I'm optimistic. If this comes down to a time scramble, just like the last game, there will be chances. Okay, so in the process, the last few moves, White didn't lose. White did lose. Something's wrong with my brain. White did indeed lose a knight for a pawn. And here we go. Counterattack is starting. Actually, there's some serious compensation here for the knight. Black's extra piece is not great. This piece is not impressive. It's dominated by White's central pawn. This bishop is not impressive, stuck at home. Black's queen could actually run into some serious trouble. I would have played that move first, hitting that black queen. But also, maybe Vanch has got this idea of lining up the white queen, lining up the white bishop together to try and go for the black king. But a mistake that actually has been made several times by several of our team today. When you're down on material, don't swap pieces, don't exchange pieces. You need as many pieces alive as possible to keep chances of a fight back alive. Yeah. Unfortunate. Now those dark squared bishops have gone. Yes, white's queen is nicely centralized, but black is inching closer to safety. And okay, still some hope. Actually, black did blunder. Now, don't trade the queens. Don't trade the queens. Retreat one square. That's a double attack. You attack this pawn, hitting the black king, and you attack that rook in the corner. Black has left the rook vulnerable in the corner. Is the fight back alive? No, Vanch misses it. Oh, so close. That move would have actually, I think, been... I'm not sure about winning, but white would have been in the driver's seat there, and the psychological shock for the opponent would have been huge. Queen on e4 would have, on both diagonals, whoops, my mouse today. Yeah, the queen on both diagonals would have been just cutting the board in half there. Okay, a trap now from Vanch. And black has fallen for it. Oh, Vanch, you beauty. Yes. Okay, that's a check and a discovered attack. Black has to deal with a check, and the black queen drops. Oh, that's the key. Always set traps. Your opponents might fall into them. And also, loose pieces drop off. The queen was undefended, and it just fell off the board. Okay, so white is a queen for bishop and knight up. And look at the clock. Extra time. Oh, I thought it would be a nice chilled evening. I was promised a nice chilled evening when I agreed to be a team captain. This is a roller coaster. Okay, Vanch doing the right things, swapping off defenders of the black king. Oh, I might actually have to get ready now. Some Armageddon chess. Okay, that's a check. The white queen doing all the work. Ah, nice. I was going to say white's rook needs to join the action at some point, but if you move the rook off the back rank, the white king is trapped. So give that king some luft, some breathing space. I'm just going to quickly seek confirmation. I think the score is just a 1 point difference if we win this. But we'll find out. Okay, meanwhile, white's still in control. Nobody can beat a queen, especially not a queen who's gobbling up all the pieces like that. Is black going to keep fighting? Is black going to resign? Okay, still going towards that white king with the black rook, with the black knight, but it's just going to be one check at the maximum. And Vanch has really upped the game after an early blunder. The white king, fearless, leading from the front. Got to be a bit careful, actually. Oof. Oh, phew. Okay. Because black had a big threat of going up with the rook and checking the white king, and that would almost be checkmate. It would be checkmate now as well, except that is a pin. That is indeed a pin. And the black rook can't move. And the black knight, if it stays defending its rook, then the knight will drop. And it comes down to the crunch decider, Vanch. Thank you. Well played. I think the score is 7.5, 6.5, if I'm not mistaken. And it's my good friend as well, playing black in the last game to take it to a tiebreak, to take it to Armageddon. It's Stian, the producer for the Champions Chess Tour. Partner of Kaya, one of, for those of you watching who have seen the Champions Chess Tour. Okay, Stian, I don't know if he's played on chess24 before. He might have done, but I know he plays actively on Lichess. And here we go, it's the Sicilian. On the edge of my seat, Poland against Norway. Okay, here we go, that's a check. It's blocked. So Stian's opponent may be a bit more active on chess24, but gone down from the default rating of 1500. So Adas will, I can barely talk. I know that Kaya and Stian might have been watching tonight as well, so I hope they're not as nervous as I am. You got this, Stian. Just relax. Do your thing. Do your thing. I trust you. We're a team. We win and lose together. Okay. So that knight was attacked and it has moved. You see a trade. Bishops exchanged, knights leaving the board as well. So very level position, very standard. Yep, both sides playing well so far. Oof, Black's knight coming out. If it goes to Armageddon, I think I'm just going to have to sit there and play in silence. I can't, as you guys saw earlier, I can't multitask and, speak and play at the same time. It's, it's torture. I might just have to do some dirty flagging on the board if possible. Okay, so meanwhile, both sides developing pieces. The knight coming out. Yeah, black castling, great move. The black king, now it's safe. It's super safe. It's got an army around it. Now that's secure. The rest of the board, that's where the battle will take place. Okay, white's queen. Jumping out. Yeah, this is so tense. Both sides just building up nicely here. White's rook centralized, white's pieces all on decent squares, but black has no weaknesses. And yeah, I like that move. Queens aren't normally good blockaders, but that pawn needed to be blockaded. I think white's only plan really was to push it forward. So a nice move there from black, from our team savior, hopefully. And white there, just pushing a pawn. A bit uncertain, a bit indecisive. That pawn push doesn't necessarily improve white's position, but that black rook move does. And clock times are exactly level as well. Could this, in the words of Chandler Bing, could this be any more close? Could this be any tighter? Okay, capture of bishop to knight. Black has a whole mass of pawns in front of the king now, so that king hopefully is safe for eternity. Okay. And the black bishop finding a nice diagonal. Uf, muy complicado. Okay, so white is pushing on this side of the board. I guess this is the side that white should technically be stronger. But then again, opening things up comes with risks, and that's a double attack. Hitting the white rook, hitting the white knight. The white knight is, however, protected, so it's not going to win any material. But maybe just deciding that the knight is worth more than the bishop in this position. Okay, to take or not to take? That is the question. Okay, trading a set of pawns first. Very sensible. So if the black bishop was captured, black would have taken the white knight with a pawn. And now we see this trade. Oh, I don't even know who has the advantage here. It's so close right now. Okay, black pushing a pawn. Sensible, that pawn was attacked by white's rook. Shivering. It's not even cold in this flat. Okay, an offer of a queen trade. Now that is risky. So white is offering a queen exchange, but will worsen his pawn structure in the process if the queens come off. So black either has to take it or defend his own queen, most likely. Choices. Does capture. But now white's pawn, look at it, it's isolated and undefended. It might well drop off. Okay, white's rook protecting it, but that white rook can be traded as well. Oof, okay. Oh, great move. Great move. On that 6th rank now, black is taking control. Black is going to win a pawn, I think. Also, white's king. There are some potential threats against it later. Okay, these rooks disappear first. These rooks are exchanged. Okay. White trying to break through. The white rook was a bit stuck, so trying to break some lines open for it. Black trades. Black captures a pawn. Okay, and white keeps his far advanced pawn alive. Makes sense. Also hitting a pawn on the side of the board. And yeah, great move there. Not allowing the white rook to capture with gain of time. So forcing white's rook to take some time out before capturing that pawn. And looks like all the pawns are disappearing. It's 5 versus 4 on the king side in terms of pawns. Black's central pawns are doubled though, and I'm gutted. White saw the threat. Well, it wasn't very hidden, but white's king had nowhere to go. Black was threatening checkmate in 1. I didn't want to say it just in case the white player was watching, but okay, now it's, endgame skills. Who has the better endgame skills here? Stian here as black. Hoheim, he's the slightly higher rated player. He's played a great game so far to eke out a small advantage, but it is a small advantage. It's not necessarily going to be enough to win the game. Especially when all pawns are on one side in rook endgames, it's incredibly hard to win. But then again, black is the only one with winning chances. Unless something crazy happens, black is the only one who can win this game because he's got more pawns. And wow, big decision from white there. I'm not so sure I liked it. Now, look at that. Black has undoubled his pawns. Now it's 4 versus 3, but it's a healthy 4. No more double pawns, giving everyone nightmares. And white attacking black's central pawn. Will that pawn push, or will it be defended? Or will black find another way? Defended. Okay. I don't know too much about the player playing white here, but the endgame skills have not been amazing so far. So, okay, offering a trade of pawns. Black has 2 options, to take or to advance. He chooses the better option. That is an advanced pawn, a passed pawn, a protected passed pawn. So if the rooks ever disappear now, black is winning a king and pawn endgame. The clock though, it's all about the clock. 10 seconds. He does gain 2 seconds after every move. So a few quick moves, safe moves, gain time on the clock. Okay, meanwhile, white is going on the attack in this endgame, pushing pawns. That's a good move. Okay, we do see capture. All the time. 1 second, and no, a blunder. Oh, so close. That's a fork. And heartbreak. In a better position, a great position for black. But 1 move blunder, but it was the clock. It was the clock. Perfect game from black there until... Stian, thank you, man, for playing. I owe you one. I'm sorry, that was heartbreaking. You deserve more. You deserve more. Blitz is hard. Blitz is tough. Team Howell, if you're still watching, thank you so much for joining. This has been a roller coaster. I need to lie down so bad right now. But it's been fun. I'm gutted we're not through to the semi-finals, but we put up a tough fight against actually a higher ranked team, I think. Their team was stacked, full of grandmasters at the top there. And it was my fault. I let the team down. So, so close. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed watching this. I will be back. I will be back to stream, maybe playing some more myself, maybe part of more Blitz battles like this in future. In the meantime, thank you to everyone who played. We had an international team full of stars all over the world, and I hope that continues in future. It's been a pleasure. I've been David Howell, and I guess I'll see you guys next time for more fun on chess24. Keep playing, keep practicing, and I will too. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.